Welcome, travelers. Seems like you're looking for a story. Well, I got one for you. It involves adventure, friendship, and all sorts of...
Earl, why don't you tell him about that time I stole that big-ass melon?
Yeah, I was going for more...
Or you could tell him about the time I kicked her ass, Earl.
I wouldn't ever tell him.
Do I need to get my ref gear on?
Okay, everyone, shut up. Now come with me as I tell you a story from afar. Hey everybody, my name's David. I'm the DM for From Afar Podcast. From Afar Podcast is all about four friends separated by distance, but brought together by adventure. Hope you all stop by and give us a listen. Thanks.
Welcome, everybody, back to episode 104, which would be exactly 2 years worth of episodes here. So if you guys
we did it.
Listen to this episode once a week from episode 1 here on out, it would take you 2 years to get to this point. So hello from the past right now. So we are a bunch of first-time D&D players for the most part. Just rolling some dice, having some fun, making some mistakes. Thank you for joining us. We just finished up basically with the debrief after episode 102, where you guys defeated Annie, who was in the midst of trying to resurrect Tiamat. You guys, before get to it, probably something we didn't solve in the last episode is probably go investigate her body, and then we'll go on to what we're doing. But, you guys learned a whole bunch about the hells and things going on there now that they are called Outer Heaven. And Asmodeus is known down there as Big Boss. You also learned that there is an opposing force in heaven that Dario, Lord Dario Covington, was working for, and has gone back to report to you. This is slightly different from, which I didn't get to explain in the last episode, but that's slightly different than Elysium, which is where all the other gods are. There's a separate thing, which everybody would have known that in your party. Maybe not O'Craig, but we'll let him have it.
I wouldn't know shit.
So at this point, you guys heard cheering happening in the city. You went out to celebrate, but we head back in to the story. Cranor stops you guys before you head out and goes, so the Drakenhorn room is clear if you guys want to examine her body.
Is there a bathroom in that room? Oh. I really need to go. Let me do this first. This is going to be a thing, isn't it?
Is there anything worth checking out, Cranor? Did you guys already check the body?
They basically just cleared out everything and now have a perimeter set up if you guys want to go in.
Let's go. Sure. Fine. I guess we could spend 10 minutes.
All right, report back. I'm going to the bathroom.
All right.
Okay. I run to the woods or something.
Yeah, Craig runs off to go to the bathroom.
I mean, we are headed to the sewers.
Yeah.
So.
Well, a lot of food goes through there, apparently.
Is there no plumbing in this world?
All right.
Like a chamber pots?
Well, that's how I'm going to the woods.
Yeah, so you guys get into the...
side here. I go to her body, and I'm looking for the scroll.
Okay. Yeah, so roll... two of you roll investigation checks.
I'll do one of them. I'll just give you advantage.
Okay. 16.
16? That's... You're not under too much of a time crunch here. So you take a few minutes and you feel around for the body. You find the scroll. The first thing you notice is that the first section of the scroll is blank. And then there's words below it. So roll an Arcana. Are you proficient in Arcana?
I don't believe so.
No? Oh, then just roll it and just see what you get.
Natural 19. So 21.
Okay. Didn't need it. From what you know of magic and scrolls, not being a wizard, but, you know, being a bard, you feel that this scroll, once the words are said, disappears from the paper.
Gotcha.
Just so there's no two people trying to go through the ceremony at the same time. So you guys now have that scroll. It still has 3 sections left in it to read. And it's basically confirms the things you found in Annie's room of what each section does as you do the incantation to there. You also find her staff. And the staff has the 3 crystals on the top of it. 1 green, 1 red, 1 blue. You don't know what they do particularly. You just see that they have sort of like something swirling inside. It's not like a solid crystal. You would need to find somebody to identify it, or somebody have the identify spell to see exactly what it does. So you have her staff. And basically that's about it. You find that there were 3 obelisks there. The one is still blue. You see a bunch of dead Irnies, and the dogs are there as well. And they are slowly turning into like puddles of goo and vicar, sort of, as when you kill most devils and demons and they retreat back to their home world. That's what happens to their bodies on the material plane. Not much else you find there. You see that nothing's happened to Annie's body. Like, she has not turned into mush or anything like that, so you assume that she is just a human, from the material plane, no connection to hell or anything like that.
I'm going to immediately cast Identify on the
okay.
on the staff. And the,
So the staff itself is just a regular +1 quarterstaff if you want to hit people with it. Each crystal itself is gives you a use of a certain elemental spell. So red is a fireball, blue is cone of cold, and the green is poison. No, it's the wind one. It sort of makes a wind wall, sort of like a tornado there. So you could theoretically do them in pairs, like wind wall, then set the wind wall on fire. Here and sort of thing. Cool things that could have happened in the battle.
I feel like too bad they didn't be.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. So sad.
So that's essentially what that staff is. It gives you 1 use of the spell every long rest. So if anybody wants it, he puts it on his back. And the only other thing she had on her was just her leather armor. Just plain old leather armor. She wasn't really expecting having to fight you guys in hand-to-hand combat. So now that you guys have finished that, you are free to go about the town. You guys go walk into the town, but before that, Latari sort of pulls the car aside and goes, I need to talk to you.
Okay.
And then them 2 go off.
So, what's going on?
All right. Well, how me sharing things, like feeling things, it's not easy for me. I'm used to just letting other people share and listening and all of that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I need to kind of explain where my head's at right now with you.
Okay.
Obviously, I reconnected with you when I saw that you and Astaroth were separated and that he was different, and the only thing that I cared about in that moment was making sure you guys were both okay, because you guys are pretty much like the only family I have left, essentially. So, now that I know you guys are okay, I'm happy and sad too, because I'm glad you guys are together again and that you have this group of people to sort of take care of you, more like you take care of them.
It's challenging at times. What are you getting at? I feel like this is one of those situations where there's some bad news coming.
Essentially. So, as you know, I was, or have been, on a mission of sorts to find somebody.
Okay.
And I just have something pulling me back towards that again. And I just feel like now that I know that you and Astaroth are safe to an extent and that you guys are together again, I feel like I kind of have to leave at this point.
I mean, I feel like we just got you back.
I know.
If that's what you have to do, and I know you can't share exactly what this other mission is that you're on, then I trust that it really is something that you have to do. I just hope that whatever it is, you can figure it out and then find us again safely.
Yes, I do too. I mean, I definitely will always want to be in contact. I mean,
so wherever you're going, can I contact you from time to time, or is it one of those?
yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I am not entirely 100% sure of how things are gonna go. I just, from research and everything I have done from back where I'm from, I have a vague idea of where to go, but for now it's just gonna be me. I might see if if Blake or someone wants to come with me, but I don't know if I want to get anyone else involved, so.
Well, that makes it sound dangerous, and I don't like that.
I don't know that it's dangerous, it's just unknown territory for me, which is not what I'm used to, because you know how much time I spend in libraries and such, so I feel like I'm as prepared as I can be, because I just don't know where this person is.
Okay. What, are you leaving like right now? Are you gonna eat breakfast with us?
I think it's best if I leave, and I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to face all the other guys, especially because it would probably take way longer than it needs to.
That's true.
With Pizzatacos, but if you don't mind, can you just give this to him for me? Or
sure.
As far as Astaroth goes, can you just tell him that I really care about him and I'm glad that he's safe again?
Yeah.
I don't think that I can say goodbye to him too. This is hard enough saying goodbye to you right now.
All right, I'll tell him. I know he'll be sad, but I think he is going through enough right now with what happened, and he doesn't need more bad news, like hard bad news. Like, I mean, it's going to be bad news, but
right.
I think
it'll be better coming from you.
Yeah. All right. I wasn't expecting to have this kind of a talk with you.
I'm sorry.
For a long time. I mean, not trying to make this harder on you. I'm just surprised, I guess, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yes. And again, I do hope that our paths cross. I mean, they might cross sooner than either of us anticipate, since I'm not entirely sure what my next journey holds for me, but if there's ever a situation where you guys need something, please let me know.
Okay, I will.
Right.
We will. And then we hug.
Yes.
We hug, and then I'm assuming you leave?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna walk.
So Zakara watches Latari walk out and kind of just watches her until she walks far enough away she can't see her anymore. And then she turns and heads back inside.
I come back. I'm done. But there's no TP out there really, so.
Use a leaf.
Yeah, so when
maybe.
I'm so glad you wasted Mark's edit break for that.
I think there's enough of it. But
ruining other breaks.
I ruin a lot of things.
so you come back and you notice Zakara and Latari are not there, but you are just so happy you just went to the bathroom
I feel great.
that you don't even notice.
Yeah, I feel like I lost 10 pounds.
It's sort of like, hey, there's less people. I don't know who's missing, but yeah, let's go celebrate.
Yeah. I just
So-
go about.
So you guys head into town. You see that they've turned one of the slightly collapsed buildings right outside the stronghold into a makeshift tavern. You see people rolling in cask of ale and, people bringing bottles of wine that they've been taking out of the stronghold and the other homes of the governors that you have slain.
Any spaghetti?
You see some pots of spaghetti coming down.
Sweet.
Where's that alcohol?
You also, I'll have, who would have, roll a perception check, Pizzatacos.
16.
Yeah, so you see off in the distance, can't really make out what it is, but you see in one of the tallest trees over there, there seems to be a large humanoid figure hanging from it.
What?
Finger or figure?
Figure
Okay.
hanging from it.
Like, hanging as in hanged? Lynched?
Yeah,
Can I go over and just see?
yeah, roll investigation.
19.
Yeah, so the townsfolk have decided to just keep Terry's body hung on the biggest tree in town.
Wow.
Terry's still up there, guys.
Not cool, brother.
That's really, he was the nicest governor out of all of them.
He was a nice
He didn't
governor.
really deserve
Yeah.
that.
He loved his
I
fans.
just want to say.
And there are a lot of hammer and sickles and things drawn around him.
By the good fight, guys.
Oh, jeez. Wait a minute. He had
So you come back and join everybody inside the bar. At this point, it's just Tiresias, Pizzatacos, Fred, O'Craig, and Tribeca. We're all sitting at the table at this point, and Tribeca goes, so you guys want ale, wine? What do you guys want?
We don't have to pay, right? I mean, we're heroes.
Well, I was going to pay, but
I don't think anyone should have to pay. I mean, this is like a huge celebration. We just...
Now, first question.
This guy's a king and he won't pay.
Who's drinking?
I
I'm
am.
drinking.
Okay, we're all drinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna use my hat of disguise to look different.
Cool.
So I'm gonna
Wait.
take on.
We have hats
So one of the assassin features is that I
Yeah.
can establish aliases. So this alias is Jimmy Buffet,
Okay.
my party guy persona.
okay.
Nice.
Nice.
I like it.
Do you have a loot or anything, or
No.
do you carry around with you? It's just that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just want to look casual, so Hawaiian shirt and all that, so that people don't recognize me as being
Got it.
a tiefling that's heavily armed and stuff.
Is his head a normal head, or is it a parrot-shaped head?
Oh wow, you're really tempting me with this. I guess Jimmy Buffet is an Aarakocra, like you were saying. He has a parrot head.
Wow.
That's very awesome.
Got it. That's real good. I like that. So now you're sitting there, and Tribeca goes off and gets your ale. She roll a perception check. Go, Craig.
That's a 6, right? Or is that a 9?
9.
9. 15.
15. You notice as she's walking away.
Investigation?
No, a
Oh,
perception.
perception. All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was right the first time.
Okay. So you notice as she's walking away that she flips him a gold coin as she's coming back to the table with the ale.
Uh-oh. Someone was busy?
No, she paid for it. And
Oh,
you didn't want
okay.
us paying for it.
I was just saying, I don't get it.
Oh, dear God. So she walks back and she puts the ales on the table and goes,
Why
well,
is anyone paying, goddammit? This is a big fucking party.
well, these people have had their money taken from them for years, O'Craig. We should help stimulate the economy again.
This place is fucking ruined.
Hardworking people, man. They gotta get back on their feet somehow.
Yeah.
This is not how you throw a party, as far as I'm concerned. Right?
So,
everyone,
yes, I'm
people
sure
fought and died here.
there's no
Have to pay for it.
There's no heads on pikes on here, so I know you wouldn't understand.
I'm just saying, people fought and died out there.
I mean,
soldiers usually don't have to pay once they fight.
Most celebrations have an open bar,
right?
But they got to they got a lot of rebuilding that they got to do. So let it slide this once.
It's not like you don't have enough money already.
Oh yeah, you didn't even pay for it.
It's the principle of the thing. All right, who's gonna want to fight more battles if I gotta pay for it afterwards?
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure you promised to pay me 10,000 gold.
Once we got home. What is home? Once we got home.
I think you said that you were gonna give me at least 3,000 of that up front, though.
Yeah, he did.
All right, I'll give you 3,000.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I got to mark that up.
Why was he paying him that much?
To not kill Tribeca and to help with Annie.
Yeah, I mean,
that's right.
He's already been on record as saying that he has no interest in doing that, so you don't really even have to.
No, I told him to pay. He would be like my bodyguard.
Okay.
That's why I would pay him.
Yeah. So at this point, Sakara walks back in just alone, by herself.
Silkun came too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You bring him in,
obviously,
as he was, just sitting outside, still not 100% comfortable, because of situations that have occurred with the rest of the group, not you, per se. And so you two join, but it is just you, no Latari in sight. You sit down at the table, and then you turn around and see a giant parrot head sitting at the table.
Do I want to know what's happening here? Who are you?
I'm in disguise.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah.
It's Jimmy Buffet.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
my name is Jimmy Buffet, party animal.
Literal party animal. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying not to attract attention to myself.
I feel like the opposite is happening, but I get what you're going for here.
I'm attracting attention to a different persona.
Yes.
Not my original name. Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So, what's going on, guys?
Did you notice that there's a giant bird with us now?
I just did.
Oh, okay. It's pretty awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
We're all drinking. What's up with you?
Nothing. Latari wanted me to tell you guys goodbye.
Oh, where's she going?
She actually didn't
bathroom? She
say.
hasn't gone to the bathroom since I've met her.
What?
Since I've met her, she hasn't gone to the bathroom.
Okay.
No, like,
you
she's-
really need to stop with the bathroom thing.
Please.
Like, she's gone. She said that she had to take care of something. She was working on something before she met up with us, and she had to go back to that. So she's not great with goodbyes, so she wanted me to tell you guys.
Did she seem shady when she was leaving?
No,
Did you do
she
an inside
seemed.
check?
I did. She seemed pretty sad, actually.
She gave us the old half-orc goodbye.
Yeah, and
Is that what that is?
That's what we call it. The old half-orc goodbye.
And as you're talking about that, one of the patrons waiters at the bar, quotes, because this isn't actually a set-up bar, walks over and hands a package over to you, Pizzatacos.
Ooh, my package is here.
And on top of the package is a letter. If you want to open it up and read it.
On a Sunday. To the champion of Melora. Hopefully you haven't thrown this letter out yet. And that would have been really quick.
That's you.
Inside this package is a gift for my first and only psychiatric patient. Hey, I know her. I think you are the only one that will make good use of these. I know it is tough, but you were chosen for a reason, and I hope you figure that out one day, because Melora doesn't make mistakes. The only one thing, I hope you keep our special half-orc friend in check, at least sometimes. Chaos Crew forever, Latari.
And you find inside the package that's wrapped in leaves and rope. I'm not going to actually hand them over to you, but you have now the Deck of Illusions.
Okay.
Essentially, to explain it to the audience out there, a card gets drawn at random, and he throws it on the ground, and some kind of illusion comes out of the card and can stand within 30 feet of where the card is drawn. It'll be up to Anthony if he wants me to draw them or if he wants to draw them, but he can't look at them before doing it.
Do I know what they are?
No. You the instructions are...
I'm going to immediately pull a card.
Okay.
That's a good point, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So who's a
Deck
good
of cards.
shuffler here, just to...
I think we could all shuffle them.
I'm terrible at it, that's why I asked.
I can.
Just full deck card?
Yeah, no, it's not a full deck.
Okay.
It's only 37 cards, or something like that.
Okay. But the Joker should be in there too, right?
Yep.
It's a pinochle deck.
I haven't played that in forever.
Yeah, for those of you out there that know what the Deck of Illusions is, normally there's a thing where I roll and it's missing a certain amount of cards. But just for the hell of it, I've given them the full deck.
It's much closer than
It's a little stiff.
That works better for the Deck of Many Things, to have things missing from it. This is just for fun. So draw a card and throw it in the middle there. I gotta... Give me a couple seconds.
This is going to cause mass hysteria.
It's going to be the
deck.
6 of clubs.
I wasn't anticipating you...
Why would he not use it immediately?
Yeah,
I'm an idiot. I should have known.
Oh,
10 of
told
hearts.
you.
oh boy.
Told you.
Okay.
10 of hearts.
Edit.
Here, give me 1 second.
You can edit right now.
I put it onto the table that we're at.
Did you
Okay,
edit?
slam it down. All right, and... All right, so what was it again?
10 of hearts.
10 of hearts? So you slam it down.
God.
Jesus Christ.
We're gonna get kicked out.
You slam it down on the table, and immediately standing on top of the table and sort of clipping through the ceiling is a giant cloud giant. Who is now real to everyone else in this bar, and they start scattering out of the bar.
I also run.
None of us are, except for you, I guess, are surprised. We're just like, oh.
shit!
Yes. So roll.
I just
Yeah.
look
What was
back
that?
Does the giant move and stuff like that? Does the
You
creature
you
create
can
that
move
thing?
it 30 feet around
So
where
no,
the
but
card
like-
is.
So
Does
what's
it
his
move?
name?
No, but like, does it move or does it just stand there?
It just stands there and
It's
does
is it an
things like
illusion? Or is
swings
it
its club. and
Oh,
does
yes.
things.
Well,
Yeah.
the reason I'm asking is because I want to dance with the giant.
All right. So this giant is there, sort of just doing giant things, swinging and going, oh. You know, to everyone else, he is just a giant there. Fred stands up next to it. Roll me a performance check for your dancing.
And while he's doing that, I'm just kind of like moving the card.
It's like a shadow puppet.
All right. So that's a natural 17 plus. I'm not proficient in performance.
Yeah, it's over
So
15.
it's an 18 total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's over 15. Yeah, so
He's got
that's
moves.
one of the best dancers you've ever seen for a parrot man.
And a giant dancing.
Right next to a cloud giant who's not necessarily dancing. He's just sort of
Shuffling.
shuffling back and forth because the card is being tilted.
So let me get this straight. Everyone had to pay for their drinks, and now there's a giant in the room. So this is the worst party ever.
I mean, it's an illusion.
But they don't know that. So everyone ran off screaming,
Private party.
leaving their drinks that they paid for.
Well, now you're free to drink all of them.
I ran as well.
You're yelling from outside the bar.
Run for your lives! We're doomed.
This is the worst party ever.
I want my money back.
So yeah, you go and snatch the card. The giant disappears. You can put it back in the deck.
You
Pull
can
another one.
you could use as many. You
Use
could
all
use
the
it as
cards.
many times as you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it when you pull it up on D&D Beyond
I
to
found
there,
it.
I believe it takes an action. I'm going to homebrew some stuff. I think you technically lose the card, I think.
Okay.
When you use it, I'm just going to let you keep it because at this point in your guys' level, this is more of a fun thing than a...
Yeah. Why did she
Tactical
never
one.
use it?
I don't know. That's a great question that I wish I could have asked her.
There's lots of things she never did.
Like what?
I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
So
She didn't do a lot when she was here, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, she helped me out.
Yeah, so you guys are
Talk
celebrating.
to my
Not rude at all.
So you guys are celebrating.
I hate all of
Get
you.
deep into the night. It's just the
More like
seven of you.
Teresa's the jerk.
sitting there drinking the ale left behind by everybody else. Everybody roll Constitution saving throw.
I hope you will get poisoned.
You're gone? You're really gone?
Yeah, I ran away.
And you never came back?
Woof, that's a natural 2.
I'm going to assume you came back at some point.
Natural 19.
a 4.
You said
So
concentration.
you're hammered.
I drank a lot, guys.
13.
Okay, everybody above a 15 is
11.
buzzed. Not so much anybody below.
Oh, it's a saving throw?
Yeah.
Hang on, I get +2 on saving throws, I think.
Yeah. Anybody above a 15 is fine. You're just feeling it a little bit.
I'm not a 20.
Anybody 5 or more below 15
I got a 17.
is hammered.
Yeah, I got a
And-
7, so.
I'm at a 22, so I don't feel anything.
Yeah, and Astrod did not drink because
So
he
who's
has
drunk?
no knowledge of ale.
Fred?
Oh, did I have a
Yeah.
I'm
Nobody
assuming
bought
you drank.
anything.
I'm sitting at the table asleep, sort of.
Alright.
And,
I'm going to ask
and
you.
Tribeca just looks over and goes, "All right, guys,
What'd she roll?
I'll just roll." But,
Fred, or buffet. Fly. Try
Buffet.
flying.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to
sorry,
try
it moved.
It's not going to work out.
Let's go fly.
It
Was
does
it
not
low?
work.
No.
Reroll.
No, I had it. I was just trying to show you.
Okay.
She rolled a 20.
Natural 20?
Natural 20. So she's perfectly fine. You have a feeling that maybe her devilish form, it takes a little bit more to get her inebriated than everyone else.
She's going to take advantage of me.
So she looks over at the rest of the table and she's like,
Night, honey.
"Guys, I'm used to this. He used to do a lot more stuff than just ale."
I believe that.
And it's just like dead.
And she walks over and
Sounds
cradles him and walks off
She
to
carries you.
yeah, and they walk out of the bar. You head towards a nearby house and just sort of squat on it because, basically this town is
empty.
nobody's
Yeah,
really
it's
lived
really
in it in 5 years. So she basically just squats on a house for the night as you lay down in bed. The rest of you, get your celebrations in. Fred sort of stumbles off, in his drunken state as a parrot, trying his best not to get noticed by anybody in town for being in disguise.
Noticed as a parrot.
And he finds lodging for the night. You all basically just find a place to lay down your head. And during the night, Craig, you are visited by you were visited by a figure comes into the room. Roll perception.
Fucking lose this bag of holding.
Oh my god.
Immediately.
Why wouldn't we have taken it from him? We're so dumb.
4. You don't recognize it right away, but as it gets really close and up in your face, you hear, "We need to talk."
Oh.
And at this point, the cowl and the thing, and so you head off and follow the Batman.
Okay.
Bat face.
To
Yes,
what
his wings
looks to
and a
be
bat
an old shrine to Sarenrae in the town, and she's like, have a seat.
I sit down.
Yeah, sit down. She goes,
I put it away.
I put it away.
and she, takes away the disguise, and you see her in her,
All her glory.
in all of her bright, shining light. But oddly enough, it's not really shining.
Mm-hmm.
So no way of anybody seeing what's going on. And she goes, "I see that you were successful."
Yeah. Thanks to you for sure, and praise be unto thee. And all that
That's not
stuff.
necessary.
I'm still figuring out this prayer stuff and how to.
Yeah.
Do I have to pay tribute? Do I kill someone for you or?
Oh God, no,
Oh,
no.
okay. I don't know. Look at me. Look at me.
I knew this was a work in progress.
Yeah.
So no, you do not need to murder anyone for me.
No sacrifice.
No sacrifices.
Meanwhile, he
No
has a head on his
sacrifice.
belt.
I can forgive past deeds.
Yeah. Because I
that
didn't
you
know.
have done.
So it's like a do-over, like a grace period.
Yeah.
Born again.
Yeah.
Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior?
And she goes,
It's a good ring to it.
she goes, "There. It's funny you joke about that, but there is something that I do need from my champion."
Anything, name it.
and she's like, I need you to head off to the shrine in Whitestone, and sort of pray there.
Okay.
And you will find out once you do get there.
I thought this is like a thing, like you're everywhere kind of thing, like
where you want to be.
Yeah, like
Our
Saren Ray's a part of me, and I could worship anywhere. I don't need to go on like a certain time or anything.
Are you telling a god how a god works? Oh, Craig.
No, I'm just.
He's
again.
confused.
I'm new, but
she goes, no.
I will go.
The shrines are where the power is concentrated, and it makes it easiest to talk to you.
Well,
so as soon as you can, head on there, and you might find something you want there.
it's very mysterious, but I'm gonna take you for your word because you're a god, and
And
I
then
trust
she
you.
goes, she puts her hand like this and goes, I need to go. and it disappears and flies off.
I'm just waving. Bye. Alright, well.
Yeah.
The Batman.
It would be better if you, look over there and I looked away and then you were gone. How does he do that?
So the next morning, you guys wake up, and...
I spend the night packing. I'm going to leave right away.
Okay. You guys all awaken in your rooms, first full night of rest. You wake up next to Tribeca, who's sitting there making tea, waiting for you. And she goes, I'm glad it's not anything that I had to heal you from this time.
Yeah, I drank a lot.
And these nights are a lot easier when I don't have to use lesser restoration on you to get rid of the drugs in your system.
Yep. I mean, just so frank about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just really hammers it home there.
I get it.
You're a drug addict. That's what we're saying.
Don't forget, you're a drug addict.
She goes, it'll take me some time to get used to you sober. There were so many years there.
It'll take a lot of some time for me to get used to you being a devil, so let's call it even.
Yeah. She goes, just to let you know, I only hid this from you to protect you. Because if people knew I was here, which apparently I have to find out why people started to see through it. I'm wondering if it was because I stayed in the same disguise for so long. But that could be my stupid self for falling in love with you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're pretty stupid for doing that. But what can you do? I'm so charming.
Yeah, and she goes over and she's like, it's the first time she's seen you and goes, that armor, that's new.
Yeah, it's pretty good looking, right?
Is that made of wood and leaves?
I think so. Pretty sure I'm allergic to it.
Doesn't sound comfortable to
It's
sleep in.
itchy.
And she reaches over and touches it and she's like, oh,
It's like,
that's got some pretty powerful magic behind it.
Yeah, the glowing thing is sort of new. It just sort of happens. You were there actually when it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it fits me, which is kind of weird. It's not tailored or anything, but it's like really, really on there, like a nice suit.
Well, whatever is having you turn into the Theron I first fell in love with is good by me.
Yeah, I mean, it works for me. I haven't touched a thing in a while, so that's good.
And she goes, yeah, and she's like, well, I got some coffee cooking on the stove here. Feel free, I think there's some eggs. I don't know how old they are. You can make some food. But I'm gonna head on out and see if we can pick up anything to fill this house up, with food and supplies, since we'll probably be here for at least a week.
Yeah. So what's your plan after this week?
The only thing I've been thinking of is to keep surrounding myself with people that are powerful. I don't want to burden you guys because I'm sure you want to go off on your own after, we see the council. So I'll probably head back to Western with Teddy and S and sort of settle in there. Teddy's done a good job of protecting me all these years, being in the Wolverines and...
Do you trust him?
All that. As much as anyone else that I've trusted. I mean, then again, I did trust Annie, so maybe I'm not the best person to ask that about.
We're talking about the fact that, I don't know if we told you, but we did have reason to believe that there's a mole somewhere in the Resistance, I guess, the Wolverines.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. There's only a few of us left.
And we're just narrowing down our suspects.
Well, like I said, I didn't see Annie for who she was, so I would have no idea on who it could have been. All of them have been nice to me and never really gave me a reason to distrust them. I mean, S can be arrogant, but that's just that halfling blood in her.
Sure.
So she goes, all right, I'm going to head on out. And she leaves, and the rest of you sort of gather around, make your way over to where Pizzatacos is. And are you short one person? Or
I arrive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I show up.
Hey guys, there's coffee brewing.
What shouldn't we touch in this room?
She said the eggs might be old.
Did you sleep on the eggs?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did a lot of sleeping. Let's be honest.
I did a lot of sleeping last night. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So everything's
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
She's
She's a gentleman. She didn't violate me. I wasn't.
Got whiskey dick.
that's what that means.
That's not wrong, but also I was dead to rights.
Is Fred still in his buffet?
No, at this point he would have been back to tiefling form because I don't think that lasts through a long rest.
I don't know how long disguise self lasts, but
you would have done it again if you wanted to use that spell.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay.
Yes, he's still a parrot.
For today, I want to stay in that disguise.
Okay. So he's still Jimmy Buffet.
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffet.
You were wild last night, dude. You were trying to fly, and it didn't work.
I can't do that. Why?
I asked if you could fly because you're a parrot, and you tried flying. It didn't work, but I had a lot of fun.
That explains these bruises.
Yeah. It's when I come back, we'll have to do that more often.
What do you mean? Come back.
Oh,
you going to the bathroom again?
No.
You have to announce it every time?
Only once every year. Only once every year I have to go to the bathroom.
That sounds like a problem.
Craig, we go to the bathroom, we just don't announce it to you.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought we had to hold it.
No, we've been going this entire time, like normal.
I've been in so
How
much
are you
pain.
alive?
Normal people.
How are you
Strong
alive?
constitution.
Are you sure?
I have a +7.
That sounds
Do you
really
wear a
painful.
Do I wear a diaper? No. I do not.
You don't need permission. Just go next time.
Anyways, where are you going?
I was visited by Saren Ray last night, and she told me I need to go to Whitestone.
Okay.
What?
To pray. I will find answers there and power beyond recognition.
I don't think she said that.
She did not say that. But there is power there, she said. That if I go, I'll learn some stuff. And she was very, I guess gods are very, mysterious. And they're very cryptic.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask her, well, just fucking tell me now, but...
Glad you didn't.
Yeah, I thought she would get mad.
Yeah.
Question.
So I didn't. Answer.
Are you sure it was Saren Ray?
She came down as the Batman.
Okay.
And then she transformed into...
What if, hypothetically, you know how everybody is someone who they say they aren't, right? The Batman was never Saren Ray.
Well, to be honest, I don't know what Saren Ray really looks like. I'm taking her at her word. She was very beautiful, and I think that counts.
Okay.
And that's all I know. Well, I'm gonna see if Saren Ray visited me last night. Give me a sign. And I'll just kind of close my eyes and hold out my hand. Just peek a little bit.
Just keep your eyes closed. I'm gonna lightning bolt him.
The callback joke would have been prestidigitation open the windows.
So the windows open, all this air comes in, lightning bolt from, roll a, what is it, a dex saving throw?
Me?
Let me look.
Oh, Greg is dead.
I think it's dex. Roll a dex saving throw.
16.
16. I think that succeeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so roll a d6 for me.
Take some damage before I leave.
You asked for it, literally.
2.
So you take 2 points of damage as he held back a little bit on his lightning bolt.
I feel the energy.
It just sort of courses through your veins, but you had your eyes closed, so you have no idea where that came from.
That was Tiresias. We already talked about this. Your gods aren't real. They're not here anymore.
Yeah, listen to that guy.
Wait, so you're saying my god isn't real?
Yeah, they're gone. They're not here. They don't really have any influence.
That's like fighting words, homie.
So they were here at one point. Is that what you're saying?
So, out of character, this is like a lore thing of Exandria that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that they have
so I'll
limited
have
influence and all that.
Zakara, you're the oldest, right?
Yeah.
Roll a history check,
Yeah.
just to keep it in game.
I guess, I was assuming this
you're
would
correct.
be common knowledge.
Yeah, but she
18.
would have more deeper knowledge. So I'll explain. She, unless you want to go and do it.
I guess I'll keep doing this in character. Just, it was the cataclysm.
Yep.
The cataclysm, right? Yeah, the whole cataclysm thing, the, your gods fighting against the betrayer gods. That's not what we call them. Anyways, and then that whole thing happened, and then your gods all just disappeared, ran away, and then
They fled. They were like, we don't want to do this anymore, and they just left.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so
you didn't know this?
No.
It's like common knowledge.
I don't.
So-
I believe in.
You're
the
asking the
betrayer
wrong
god.
person about
Okay.
common knowledge.
So,
Anyways.
hypothetically, let's say the Saren Ray that he's seeing is really Saren Ray, right?
That's
So
what I'm
she's
taking it
only appearing to this person, this half-orc, in all of the universe, as far as we know.
I'm just saying, I think it sounds like
What's
a
the
scam.
likelihood of that being really Saren Ray?
It sounds like a scam. It's probably a telemarketer.
Yeah.
as. Well,
Is
What's
she-
a telemarketer?
Is
Somebody
she from-
communicates with you over a
Yeah.
long distance to try to scam you out of your money.
There's a prince from a faraway land saying, I got a really great deal with you, with the bank account that I need to get money out of, but only you have to send me a check so I can send a check back.
well, I have to believe her. She's been following me forever. This is a long scam.
But
is what
has
you're
she?
saying?
It's not only since we've been together,
Well, I've
right?
believed in the Batman since I was a kid.
Right, and then the Batman shows up, and not only is the Batman real, but Batman is also Saren Ray.
Yeah. Why not?
Have you been
I don't know.
taking something before you go to sleep?
Seems convenient.
Well,
And this guy is saying Saren Ray hasn't been around in how long?
It's not me saying it. Like this again. This is
Look,
common
But
knowledge.
you did just say it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in anything, so help me.
Okay.
So, just to, because it would be not common knowledge, but you guys would know that is kind of true. Who knows? Oh, Craig.
I didn't believe in Saren Ray to begin with.
But Zakara would know from her high elf training and druid training about the gods themselves. I believe the cataclysm took place about 800 years ago. And basically the gods fought each other with champions on Earth, Exandria. And essentially the gods that you all believe in were able to trap and capture the betrayer gods and send them off the material plane. And so they went behind the divine gate, which essentially means they can't come through and neither can the betrayer gods can't get, like, there's sort of a gate around the material plane. But, since you talked to Melora, that you can talk to gods through the gate. And they can even take a form in front of you. So he's not completely talking out his ass when he says that, it might not be there. But for someone that doesn't believe in gods, like Pizzatacos, it probably sounds like bullshit.
So I say all that.
And I guess
See,
to clarify, Fred also does not believe that that's a real thing.
Yeah.
well, I believe it's a real thing because I've seen it, and if you don't want to believe me, that's fine.
It's fine. What are you saying?
You do you, man.
I gotta go.
Hand over the bag of holding, real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, first of all, can't you wait like 6 more days?
She said I have to go there immediately.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's what she said. That's
We've
a god.
spent months killing things and saving people and knocking down entire cities. We have an entire week where we don't have to do a fucking thing, and then this fucking god shows up to you the first night we get.
Yeah.
And tells you got to go 2 weeks travel to get there. So now what's our options? We let you go by yourself, you die, or we go with you and we miss the fucking chance to relax.
Hold on, everybody.
Is that what you're telling me?
Let's all settle down here. I feel like tensions are running a little hot.
Are we all hangry? Did we eat breakfast yet?
I haven't eaten any.
My head is killing me right now.
That's probably why. He's cranky.
I am beyond cranky.
When a god tells you to do something, I'm pretty sure you got to do it.
Oh, is this,
I'm not going to run the risk of...
Is this a Blues Brothers joke? On a mission from God?
I am on a mission from a god.
It's Chicago, right?
I will give you... You do not have to come with me. This is something that I need to do on my own. I'm not expecting you to join me. I mean, you two don't even believe in it, so why would I want you to come with me?
I have no fucking clue.
Right.
He's not wrong.
We have a week, right? We have a week where we don't have to do anything. I can meet you at the council after I'm done.
Fine.
Is that
Give us
all right?
the bag of holdings. Got to stay with us.
I'll give you the bag of holding.
But what happens if something happens to you? Is the general concern.
Then I'm dead. I don't know. I mean, soldier on without me, but...
Soldier on without me.
Soldier on without me. Well, I'll be okay.
Will you, though?
I think so.
Have you ever traveled by yourself before?
I've traveled with my brother.
Well, that's not by yourself, is it?
No, but only one other person.
Well, that's a big person.
Do you have the survival skills to get yourself there? we kind of care about you, Craig.
Again, even if I didn't want to do it, I feel like this is something that just has to be done.
I'm not telling you not to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not leaving for another 6 days.
Stay
That's,
here.
as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry, guys.
That's fine.
This is like a personal growth kind of thing, you know? I don't...
Fine.
Yeah, I'm not telling you have to come. I don't want to burden you guys with this. Just you fucking stay here, eat your shitty eggs.
I told you we weren't going to eat the eggs. She's going to get more.
It kind of looked like you were thinking about it.
No, that's why I said when you guys showed up, what not to touch. Well, she said the eggs weren't good.
But
we had this conversation.
This sounds like you're angry about more than just the eggs.
I'm angry about a lot of things.
Why are you angry at me?
Because.
What did I do?
Because you're his
what
best
if you
friend
die?
who's gonna miss you.
I'm not gonna die.
But what if you do?
What if I don't?
You're the only one that gets my jokes, and you've died once before.
Died once before is a valid argument.
I have protection.
And the only reason why you're not dead is actually because of me.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought you back.
I brought you back from the dead.
Yeah.
And now
Quite literally.
I just rescued my girlfriend.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll leave. And then these two idiots are going to be like, well, it's lawful good if we go with them.
No lies detected.
She's going to be like, yeah, I really don't think he should be out on his own. Then I'm going to fucking go with you.
I'm telling you right now, just stop them from going anywhere. All right. I'm talking to Fred. Fred, you don't. I know you don't believe in this stuff, so
you're ruining my next 6 days. I'm going to think about, oh, is he dead? Is he alive?
Is he dead? Is he dead?
I will send word as often as I can. All right.
You're not going by yourself.
Let me go, please. I'm begging you. Let me go. I gotta go.
Okay.
Just don't die, because you still owe me a lot of money.
I was gonna bring that up. I was. I swear. So when I'm done, I'll stop over at my place. I'll grab the money.
Sure.
Checks in the mail.
Or you could come after we go to the council, because it's not too far. Right? It's a little bit of a ways away. We'll visit my town. I'll pay you back. I owe you money. I don't know how much. I gave you 3.
I owe you so bucks.
I gave you 3. So that only leaves
7,000.
more.
No.
Are you sure?
Anyways.
Is that right?
Just go.
You said, pretty sure you said 10.
10. Right, so 3 and 3 is 10.
Is it now?
I think it is.
Moving on.
Yeah. I won't be gone long. I promise you.
All right.
All right.
Well,
I will meet you
a week,
in...
6 days from now,
Yes.
we're going to leave this town. And we will meet at the council a week from then. So 2 weeks.
Just let us...
Don't die.
Let us...
not
What
die.
is your mission?
He doesn't know.
I'm going to the Temple of Sarenrae in Whitestone.
Okay.
To pray. And I'm going to learn something that I need to learn, apparently.
Find out if there's a resurrection portal, whatever it's called, circle
in my hometown
zone.
Yeah, try to keep your ears open for that.
Also, keep an eye out for the dragon that you're supposed to have.
Remember that white dragon that your
Oh,
father
yeah,
had?
yeah.
Are you sure you could do this by yourself?
Well, now I'm a little strapped for cash because I gave him all my money.
Take some notes.
Does anyone want to give me like $10?
And just to refresh for O'Craig, one of the areas circled was Whitestone, so you could do some investigating when you go up there on your own.
I give you 500 gold pieces.
Oh, thank you.
That's so nice.
So, O'Craig hands over the bag of holding.
I'll give it to Zakar.
And then he heads on out.
Well, I want to.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Even though you guys are fucking assholes, I just met you, but you're getting there. Doubting my God. I enjoyed my time with you. I look forward to seeing you at the council. Just don't party too hard. All right.
He probably will.
And
he already did.
Well, don't. Well, he could party harder.
Be good.
It's gonna be a few days before I can party again. Yeah.
So just you guys keep an eye on him, keep him safe, and I will.
We'll do what we can.
Make sure he stays in parrot form at all times. 'Cause I like this. I like this.
Mr. Buffet?
Yes, I like this guy. I like this parrot.
Okay.
And, all right, I'll see you guys in a week. 2 weeks. I'm sorry, 2 weeks.
Be safe.
Yeah.
See you on the other side, O'Craig.
My high five.
And you miss.
May Bahamut guide you.
Roll to high five.
So, O'Craig heads out. Tribeca walks in. You sort of relay that O'Craig has left. She makes, she makes his breakfast. There's some meats and eggs and, sort of make Pizzatacos starts feeling better. He gets a lot of the greasy food inside of him. So the day is yours. You guys head out. The first thing we'll start with is Fred. I know you wanted to go check out some of the shops to see if you could get a certain thing procured.
Yeah, so I'll just run through the things I want to do in these 6 days really quick. One, I want to look for magic items that are going to help protect me against, since we are most likely going to end up fighting demons or devils, whether or not I want to. And then I'm going to make a Pepe Sylvia type board to try to figure out who all is scheming against who in Outer Heaven. Because right now it seems like Ariel, Cranor, Mephistopheles, Asmodeus, and Cesaret versus Tativolis and Tiamat. But also Cesaret is against us, but he's trying to protect her. You get the point.
Yeah.
And
lots
then,
of red string.
yeah.
Okay.
Trying to untie all of that. And then also I want to try to spar with Astaroth to prepare for fighting things. Yes, to prepare for fighting things that are much bigger and tougher than I am.
All right. Well, since most of your stuff doesn't seem to interact with anyone else, we'll just take your full 6 days here. So you start off as you leave. You tap Silkwint on the shoulder, and you say to him that you would like to spar.
Yeah.
And you go off, and then he looks at you, and he gets ready with his swords.
Wait, no, I mean, like, we can spar that way, but I was expecting to try to fight you as in your dragon form.
Oh.
I want to get used to not getting crushed by something that's much larger and more powerful than me.
We may need to go somewhere more secluded.
That's fine.
For that?
Yeah.
Okay. So he puts the swords back, walks inside the stronghold, because that whole first floor is just cleared out.
Right, that place is empty now.
Yeah, it's big, high ceilings, cleared out. It used to be basically the trading post, so there's no first and second floor to any of that. So you guys walk in, he goes into his blue dragon form. I'm sorry, red dragon form. That would have been great. That would have been a hell of a twist.
Just kidding, it's not him.
Red dragon form. First thing you notice right away when he goes into his form, his features are much softer now from when the first time you've seen him.
Right, that he's not
the Winter Warlock.
Yeah, and he's a little bit of a lighter red, but still darker than most red dragons that you've seen. So he turns to you and goes, "All right, what's the first thing you want to know?" And you see he's out, like, ready claws ready.
Yeah. I wasn't planning to like roleplay this scene that much. Just
Well, no, just what
I'm just picturing a lot of Fred like rolling to avoid getting stepped on and stuff like that.
He goes, okay.
And then not necessarily trying to like hurt Astaroth.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
He goes, as you're rolling around Freddy and you swing, he's like, good, yeah, go between the legs. It makes it harder for me to hit. Yes, you go, there. Now jump, because, I got the tail attack, too. So you jump over the tail, slide under it sometimes. And he goes, all right. And he goes,
B to dodge.
He goes, here, I'm going to test your dexterity. And he does a little bit of a fire breath towards you. And with I believe you have evasion and all that stuff, so you avoid damage. But he goes, good. Just be ready. It's going to be more powerful than that. Whenever you face another dragon, it'll also be a different, kind of, it'll either be ice or lightning or something else, or fire if you run into another red.
Yeah, but I think I've got down using my iframes to avoid the damage. Yeah, so I think we're good there.
So you're good, and you guys spar for at least a good 4 or 5 hours. He teaches you all the different kind of swings with the claws, how to avoid the bite, what to do when you're sort of in the mouth. There, and how to sort of get them to open and spit you back out, and sort of he just teaches you all the things that he knows at this point to sort of what would hurt him in a battle. So for doing that, you if you just want to write in your description on your thing, whenever you fight a dragon, they now have disadvantage on melee attacks against you.
Oh wow, that's pretty fun.
Because you know how to. He has taught you the ways to avoid.
He's taught you the way of the dragon.
Yeah, so you spend your first day, you spar with that, and you're sort of wiped out after all that. So you just take a rest for the rest of that day. Astaroth goes off and does what he needs to do the rest of the day. Day 2, you get up, and then you head over to a sort of again, everything is sort of makeshift as they're sort of building things back up, like a trinket store. And you walk inside, and there's a whole bunch of, brooches and earrings and, belts and boots and just a whole matter of different things. Roll a investigation check for me.
20.
Okay. Way more than you need it. So you go in and you notice perfectly sitting right above the counter there is a belt buckle that seems to be shimmering with some kind of magic.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask about that since I can't identify it myself.
Yeah. She goes, oh, this was, oh, they're dead now, so I don't know how much this helped, but the former owner of this said that this protected him from evil things that came at night. You just wear it, and for the day you have, you're not able to be detected by any kind of fiends, even celestials. On the opposite side.
Nice.
So, you put it on. So essentially, it's a belt buckle that has, I believe it's like non-detection from good and evil or something is what the spell is called. So essentially, as long as you wear it, nothing can detect you from the plane. Roll a intelligence check for me.
Okay. Natural 20 for a total of 22.
So you recognize, once looking at the shimmer, you immediately see the same shimmer as you're remembering Tribeca has earrings that sort of have a similar shimmer to it.
Okay.
So you don't know, you sort of say, okay, these must work because she spent 5 years with nobody knowing who she was and where she is. And it might have been her own stupid fault that she got sort of exposed. And what was the other thing? The Pepe Sylvia board. So you, about day 4 or 5, you're getting towards the end. You've been spending, most of day 3 and most of day 2 sort of making up the board and putting different drawings of people. Some of them are better than others up there. And just the words, Mistopheles and Asmodeus. And you remember along the walls in the sewer or the tunnels, the word Morning Star had been written on there. You think you know what it means, but you're not 100% sure, but it's something you just put it in red with a question mark on it. What does this mean? Who's Morning Star? What's Morning Star? And you're joined by Dario and Teddy. You've asked them to come down. Dario is back from visiting heaven and comes in with Teddy, and Tribeca has gotten pretty curious watching you make this board, and sort of has been helping you with the names of generals and lieutenants and stuff, and how that she knows of in the 8th Circle. And sort of looks over to you and goes, well, the only thing that I see missing that you don't have on the board that I would know of is, I know my father went off before I left to meet Beelzebub, who you know of as the leader of the 7th Circle of Hell. And at that point, when he got back, that's when I got word that I should probably leave. So roll an intelligence check for me.
13.
13? Yeah, that's plenty. You've been down in hell enough to know this. So you realize that Beelzebub's thing is that if he makes a deal with you and then you die, he has your soul. Or if you break the contract, he has your soul. So you're not exactly sure what that means, that Mistopheles met with him before Tribeca left, but you're sort of putting it on the board there as though, this must mean something, and you got to look into, maybe call some contacts in hell a little bit later on and see if there's any contracts down there between the two of them. Can't really make contact with them now. You're kind of trying to lay low for a little bit. But put that as a note on your board to go do that. So basically throughout the day, what you learn, you get to know all the relationships there. You learn that there may have been a deal between Mistopheles and Beelzebub, not really sure. And Tribeca reveals to you that the rumor, even though she doesn't know of it, the rumor was that she had been sold off in marriage. And that's why she ran away. Okay. She doesn't know to who, for what, or whatever. But somebody had told her, the rumor had gotten to her, and she just left. Alright, so I think does that take care of everything you want to do?
Yeah.
Alright, and, after all that's done, you take the board down, put it inside your pouch there, and, in the room, you sort of, all of a sudden roll perception for me real fast.
I think that is 15.
Yeah. So you notice them because being one of them, there's 3 members of the Clasp have now walked into the room after Dario and all of them have left. And out steps a man that you have not seen before, and goes, "So, have you taken care of that contract yet?"
That contract is null and void because the target was not who they said it was.
Okay. And he goes, "Okay, well, I heard that no, you have not finished it yet and it's still outstanding."
I mean, that is sort of what I just said.
Okay. Yeah. And then you notice it is a guy with he has sort of red hair, a thick beard on, and he goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I am Phil Brayman John Henry Bunk the Third. I am the Spireling from Western sect of the class. Everyone here has been murdered from the Stillband class. So if you wanted to stay and be the leader here, you can. If not, we're just going to have to figure it out before the Myriad gets here."
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Or you can just keep being an assassin. Either way works for us. You are one of the best.
Can I have some time to think about this?
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
And he turns around, sort of does the finger, everybody let's go.
Round them up.
And they all walk out of the room. And he puts his sunglasses on as he walks out.
Yeah.
There.
So
anything?
Jonathan, need to think about how I want to handle this.
Okay.
And so we can do that. Deal with that.
Yeah. So that was your 6th day. That was the end. You were packing up, getting ready to go to Amman, and Mr. Bunk the Third showed up, and so now we're done with Fred. And then last thing before we go, Pizzatacos and Tribeca have a really fun second night. That's the end of this episode.